This video is super long, so it's going to be divided into multiple parts. So
Yeah.
make sure you watch all of the parts of this video, okay? What would you have done in that situation? Like, forget the John part. Forget John pushing Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have allowed, even if you decided to go, like leave the group wherever you went, would that stop you from being in touch with your mother? Because that's the part that surprised me.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's the crazy part about
Right.
it all. It's like that was the part that shocked me, to know that, for one, you, and I guess as we're bringing the selfish word up again, it's like you could be so involved with what you want in life that you're getting away from your mom. She really meant that's what she needed, like, to get away,
Mm-hmm.
which is just crazy. Like, you, okay, that's fine. You picked up and left and didn't want to be in the group, and you moved to be with your husband, who wasn't even your husband. Well, yeah, they were married, basically.
Yes.
Or they had just got engaged, or were they married? Did she just run off and get married?
I think
I
that
thought
they got married
engaged
after they moved, but I'm not sure
right.
about
So
the
it's like
timeline.
y'all weren't even officially married yet, and you wanted to dip off, but then you still can't even call your mom though, or answer the phone, which is something that I think John had a lot to do with, because for one, he wanted to
Yes.
take her away from her family, which means that she probably also weren't allowing her to talk to her mother, which is just like, Twinkie, really? Like, the first dude, like, obviously this ain't love. And which, maybe she seen what her dad did to her mom, and maybe that's all she knew, or
Mm-hmm.
or maybe she was just trying to just go with it just because it was her husband. I don't know. But at some point, you got to be like, that's my mama. And if I got to pick me, it took her mom dying and all that stuff for her to have a divorce and all of that. It's like, you don't even come see your mom in the hospital. And that's the whole other thing. It's like, when they showed after she got, we'll get to that point later, but it's like they didn't show her at all, because either she didn't want to know, which I'm sure she knew her mom was sick, and then you just didn't come visit your mom. Like, yes, ma'am. But that part was crazy to me.
Yeah, I think it goes back to her being sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
The mistakes that Twinkie made at this stage in her life, which Twinkie left in 1989, and
Uh-huh.
Twinkie
Her
was
mom died, what,
born in
1994?
54.
Mm-hmm.
She was born in 54 and left in 89.
Oh, and mind you, so that means that she
So
had
she
almost,
was
what?
35. So when she got married, she was 35 years old. The
Mm-hmm.
mistake that she made in marrying John is a mistake that you make in your early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And you get divorced and you have enough time to recover from it. Right. Or like maybe
Yeah.
you have a baby and then you recover. But for her to be doing that at age 35 is just a testament to how
Yep.
sheltered she was.
Yep.
And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
if you allowed her some time to make those mistakes as a younger person, then
Mm-hmm.
it may not have turned out
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that.
that way.
But
So yeah,
she stayed so ostracized from her family for so long. Because think about it, like you
right.
said, this was what, 1989. Her
Hmm.
mom dies in 1994. They have their first performance together as sisters like a month or so, what, after her mom's death. So she
Hmm.
hadn't seen not one of them from that whole time, or talked to her mom since that time until the funeral, which is why she displayed so much guilt when her mom died.
Hmm.
That is heavy.
Yeah,
That is heavy.
it is. And it's 1994, and the
Mm-hmm.
remaining sisters are recording "The Sky Is the Limit."
Yeah,
You want
Dorinda,
to sing
Jackie,
some
and
of that?
Karen.
The sky is
Is
the
the
limit.
limit to what I can have. I can have. I believe in receiving. God's going to do it today.
Today.
Hey.
Hey.
Yep.
Yep.
But Karen gets a little sad
Again, this is
because
when
it's
she
just
was
not the
annoying
same.
to me.
Why?
She just really annoyed me. I don't know. Like, first off, her being timid when she has a great voice, that annoyed me a little bit, because I feel like even though I have experienced similar feelings, around those things, I feel like
Mhm.
women are made to feel that way, to like doubt their own greatness. And so I would like to push women to like, don't doubt your greatness, lean into it, embrace it, and live into it. So that bothered me a little bit. But she had this like youngest child mentality of like, let's just all be peaceful and together, and let's just come back together, and things aren't the same, and felt like she wasn't able to move on. And it's like, girl, you
Well,
see,
no, she's the youngest though. That's how a lot of young people are. Like they just want to keep
she's
the
young,
peace.
but at this point, she's like in her late 30s.
But still, like you're still like the youngest. I don't know. That's another reason why I can relate to Karen. I was always the one who wants to keep the peace with everybody. But that's the thing, it's like the first time. I mean, think about it. At this point in time, everything has changed. Mind you, they're pointing out in the studio right now when she starts to get sad that mom is sick. She's not
Mhm.
doing well. They haven't heard from Twinkie, so they don't know how she's doing. And they probably have already heard about John, so they know he's good for nothing. And then this is like one of the first times they're recording without all of their sisters. And mind you, Denise is also ostracized from the family. So for Karen to be the youngest, it's like everything is changing and it's like a whole different world for her. Which, and I'm
Mhm.
not the youngest on either side of mom or dad, but I am like a peaceful type of person, and I always want the family to come together. So I can definitely relate to where she's coming from.
Mhm. I'm not saying that she's wrong, because of, every family needs a peacemaker, but it's just something
Hmm.
about it felt like there's nothing you can do about bringing Twinkie and Denise back into the fold, or making your mom well.
And that's what I think bothers her. Is like you don't have control to do those things, which is why it's kind of hard to just be like, yeah, get over it. You can't control
Mhm.
it. Like I feel like she was okay to feel that hurt and that pain
Mhm.
at in that moment. Like I feel eventually she was like, okay, I can't do anything about it. But this is like fresh right now, so it's kind of just like open wounds.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So next we see John and Twinkie. We talked about them a little bit. They're going through.
Hmm.
Twinkie is trying to support the family alone, and all John can do is ask her to make more money and clean. Let me tell you something. If I'm the breadwinner, you're cleaning up.
Period.
I'm not
Boo.
making money and cleaning and taking
Look.
care of the kids.
And before the scene, before he walked in, remember that that's when Maddie was trying to call Twinkie, and there was no answer.
That's right.
Which she should have been calling her mama when he wasn't in the house.
So this is one instance where I can identify with Twinkie. When
Mm.
you are out on your own, and you have made a decision, you want to save face if that decision does not go right. And it would have been admitting defeat, admitting her mama was right, to call her mom and say, this is not working out, and like not wanting to hear somebody say, I told you so.
Well,
And so,
that's when you call and you fake the funk.
so you think that even if she faked the funk, she should have still been in touch with her mom?
Yes, think about it. Think about
I
it.
think so too, and I just
Yeah,
didn't think of it that way.
that's just my whole point. It's like even if you don't want to call and talk about your current situation, period, do your mama even know you had a child? You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, when
Mhm.
they went in, they had a son when he
They
came in the
did.
room. So it's even though
Mhm.
they didn't show him, she was like, "I've been taking care of the son, our son." So it's like, do your mama know anything that's going on in your life? Like at that point, it's kind of like even if you are wrong or right, call to check up on your mom. Because do you even know she has diabetes and she's sick and she's dying? Like, do you even know that? And like for you to go on, like I can get it. Some people move and they probably don't talk to their parents for like a few months or so, which like I couldn't do. Like I don't call mom every day, but we at least text every day. Like I hear some type of something from mom. So I couldn't imagine going years, which we're just saying what we see from the movie. We don't know
Right.
for sure if there was any type of communication or phone call or telegram or whatever. We don't know if that happened or not. But from what they're making it seem like, she didn't talk to her, and the next time she saw her mom, she was in like a casket. So I definitely think there should have been some type of communication, regardless if she wanted to talk. She could have just been like, "My mom won't talk about it right now." Like she could have been like, "How are you doing? How's XYZ? How you doing, treating mom? I don't want to talk about it right now. I just want to check in, see how you're feeling, see what what's going on, and leave it at that. Like a quick call, at least something once a week or something. But no, that's ridiculous.
Right. But I mean, if you think that your mom is the reason why you can't have freedom in your life, calling her is admitting that you need her.
But not saying that she had to be the one to reach out. Because mind you, Maddie also reached out though. Maddie was the one calling her. So even if her mom coming to her, you can't answer the phone. Yeah. Like even her mom called and left a voicemail that said, "I wanted to just hear your voice." You couldn't just call back or just pick up the phone. "Hey mom, I'm good. I love you. Blah blah blah." I don't even gotta talk for 30 seconds and hang up the phone. You couldn't do that. That's not admitting. That's not. I don't know. My whole thing is like, if you can go for that long, that is some type of, I don't even want to call it hate, but that's some type of like hold on what you're experiencing. Like, all your mom had you under her thumb for all these years, but you can't put that aside when you got what you wanted. You wanted to move out, you wanted to get married, you wanted to be with this man. You've done what you wanted to do. You had a child, and you grown now. Call your mama. Let it go.
I think it was 35 years of damage, like 35 years of being in this codependent relationship with her mom, and her feeling like after 35 years, I don't need to be in touch with you. Because you are what held me back. And I think it's difficult for us to understand that, because our childhood was not perfect, but compared to what I know about other people's childhoods, we had a good life.
Yeah, we did. We had a great life.
We were not rich or anything, and we had different dads and would go to visit them and would be apart during those times. But for the most part, our families are mostly functional.
Yep.
Like, there are some corners of the family where it's like, y'all tripping. But within our household, we were very close.
Yeah.
And even we had some of our own issues between us, but we have always been able to push past them.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult for us to understand someone having a 35-year relationship with their mother that was contentious or codependent. Or that stopped you from having your own freedom. So,
but the one thing about it that you can't deny or take away is that silence will come back to bite you. Because that 35 years, if that was all she thought about prior, I can assure you that 35 years later, she's still feeling that guilt and that shame and that pain, especially having to relive it right now. Now, you know how they always say the loudest ones at the funeral, you can tell who did right by people and who didn't. Not saying that she never did right by Maddie, but in the later years, I'll bring this back up once we get to after Maddie's death, because I had something to say about when she was in that hospital. So we'll bring that up.
Okay. Apparently, God told Maddie that she was healed and she wasn't taking her medicine. Let me tell y'all something.
Eating them potato chips. I cannot.
Just Black people and their health, me included, we need to do better. Okay.
We got to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. And she wasn't taking her medicine. It was a little funny thing when Maddie bought Jackie some pants.
That was hilarious. That was cute though.
Right. And one thing that I don't like, and I feel like our mom does this too, if a Black mom, I'm going to generalize here, but it's probably not true for every Black woman. And maybe it's a mom thing altogether. When your child or children make decisions that you don't agree with or you didn't feel like you raised them to make, you wonder what it was that you did wrong to push them in the wrong direction. And it bothered me that Maddie was hard on herself about Twinkie and Maddie. And
Twinkie and Denise.
No, Jesus. Twinkie and Denise. I just can't get Denise's right.
Y'all just messing up with my girl Denise, man.
Right. I mean, to a certain extent, Maddie's relationship with the both of them, with Twinkie and Denise, was the reason why that they were apart from each other. Yeah. However, they're adults. Like
Mhm.
they have made their own decisions, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. So it's
Yeah.
not just solely like, oh, what have I done to make my daughters do whatever they're doing? Like they're
They
adults and they're
always
making
take the guilt
decisions.
all the time, you know. But I'm
Right.
glad that
And that's
in that
not
moment,
fair.
right? And I'm glad that in that moment that Jackie was the one to tell her mom, let Denise go, let Twinkie go, and she was like, they're my children, I can't. But I'm glad that Jackie shed some light on the fact
Hmm.
that they're
Right.
gonna do what they want to do.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
But she finally got Maddie to take her medicine, and now we see something's wrong with Maddie's foot. It's bleeding.
Yep, it's bleeding. Hmm.
So next we see Maddie's in the hospital, and she wants her daughters to still sing at a convocation while she is ill, and her daughters are not feeling that. And then she calls somebody into one of the doctors or nurses into
Hmm.
the room to hear her daughter sing, and she's just doting on them, and you can just tell how proud she is of her daughters. And
Hmm.
in this moment, the separation between all of the daughters really came to light for me. And she
Yeah.
dotes on Dorinda for being a preacher, and she dotes on Karen for being able to sing down, down to the ground. And then
Hmm.
she dotes she dotes on Jackie for being her rock. And it's
Hmm.
like, if Twinkie and Denise were there, what would she call them? What would she say
Hmm.
about them? Would it be positive? Would she say Denise was my wild child?
Wild child. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And is there a way to put a positive spin on that?
Yeah.
Would she say that Twinkie was just my organ player?
She probably would. I feel like she would be like, this girl could play a organ in any type of
and
XYZ or from. She
and
probably
could
would have.
write a song.
Yeah.
I think she could definitely have more positive things to say about Twinkie.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, could Denise even really? I don't. I've never heard of a distinct voice from Denise. I can't. Obviously, which is kind of good, I guess, because they had to be one voice. But it's kind of just
I
like,
think we could say the same thing for Jackie.
yeah, we can.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely can. Because I mean, you really can only hear Dorinda, Karen.
I think that Dorinda's voice gives them a uniqueness because
It
it's
does.
her
Twinkie's
voice that,
voice as well, though. Twinkie has a
yeah,
different type of voice too.
right. But
But when
Dorinda's
you talk,
voice cuts across the other sisters that are like harmonizing underneath,
hmm,
and you hear that specific Dorinda sound.
yeah, I feel like Denise was probably like Mike and Belle DeVoe. It's
No,
like
no, no,
there is
no.
no,
No, I think she's more
obviously.
like Tawanda, like
Okay, that's a better
Tawanda or
example.
Tracy, whose voices are suited to do more
To blend.
background, right? To
Then that's why I'm
blend.
saying you can never really, you didn't hear her voice, because I could never tell you that, oh, that's Denise's voice. I would never be able to distinct that at all. So
Right.
that's what I'm trying to figure out when you say the positive things that her mom would have said. We don't know Denise like that.
Right. But what
So
I'm
it's
saying
like,
is
what?
that the compliment that she had for Dorinda didn't have to really do with singing. It had to do with
Mm,
something else. The compliment she
right.
had
That's
for
why I'm.
Jackie
Mm-hmm.
had to do right. So what would it have been that she would have said, and just
Right.
to feel that the exclusion of Twinkie and Niecy
Right.
just
And
kind
that's,
of
and I was
hurt
trying
my
to think
feelings.
of it myself, but it's kind of just like, what would it have been? I feel like if
Right.
we would have known more of her, we could have been like, oh, this is probably what she would have said. But because we, like, as far as positiveness, positive,
Hmm.
but not the negative. But if we would have known more about, then we probably could be like, okay,
Right. And
she would have
on a
said this.
different note, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to have a bunch of children, because somebody slips through the cracks. like, like
In what way?
to me, I think that Maddie let Niecy slip through the cracks of providing her with enough of attention and love so that
Oh
Niecy,
yeah.
right,
Hmm.
could be
And
all
then she
who
got
she
it in
could
the
be.
back end.
Right,
Right.
right.
Exactly. That sucks.
Because if
I don't
they,
like that either.
you said they have a brother, so that's 6 kids.
Yeah.
And it's like you
He's the
can,
oldest.
right, and you
But at
cannot
the
give a love and attention to all those kids equally.
Yeah, even when we found, I don't know if you may have already known when we were first just getting into all the Braxtons when they first started, and we didn't know that Michael existed either.
Right, right.
But at the same time, he looks like he just wants to be on the chill side. He doesn't look like he had a desire to sing at all. You know, he kind of
Hmm.
just like, I'm here when I pop up and I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
You know, so that's very well how the brother could be for them. Maddie wants barbecue, you know, and Dorinda,
No, she not supposed to be having no
no,
barbecue
and
or
she wasn't supposed to be having that.
diabetic. Diabetic behind talking about I want some
But you can
barbecue.
really tell Dorinda was very attached. She didn't want to even leave her mom. Mom was saying God has the final say, and from there, Maddie passes on.
Right.
We get to the funeral scene.
Yes, we get onto the funeral scene. They
Mm-hmm.
seem surprised that Denise would show up to her own mama's
Oh,
funeral.
my friend, which is absurd. I hope
That is absurd.
that is ridiculous. I
Did
really
y'all know she was coming? It's her
right, like is
mama's
that a cousin? Is she y'all cousin or y'all sister? I don't get like what.
funeral.
I want
Right.
to know if that part true.
Did
I
y'all
need to hear
know?
some
Did y'all know
right.
she was coming to her own mama's funeral? That just
That and
sounds real
that
stupid.
may if they actually didn't embellish with that, I
Hmm.
wonder something had to have happened for them to say that.
Hmm.
You know how when
I mean,
sometimes
years of
how
not being in
moms and
touch.
big mamas and all that stuff pass away and things happen. It's like maybe she did say maybe something happened to where they was like, oh, she showed up. Did y'all know she's gonna come? Which just to us sounds absurd because she's the sister, but we have no idea. We have
When
no
she got
idea.
up there and started talking, when
Like her
Denise
mom
got
did
up
at
there and
that
started
conference.
talking, girl, I said this is just like awkward moments during church services and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like I 100% believe this because it felt awkward, like even watching it.
No, that's actually embellished as well. After they
Is
showed
it?
the movie, they showed the actual clip. Remember, I told you they showed the clip
Oh, you
of her
mentioned.
at the funeral. People were actually praising the Lord, making noise. They made it seem that nobody was even making a peep while she was up there.
Hmm.
And they didn't show her kids in the actual real video. That was embellished as well so that we could know she had 7 kids.
Okay.
They have a lot of live footage from those times that they revealed after
So
this
that
movie came out.
so that calls into question the argument that they had afterward about who gets to go
Hmm.
in what limo.
I think that part was true though.
So, because my understanding is that they were mad that their sister went up there during the funeral, and that's why they were like, "Don't come in the limo with us."
Well, I don't think they didn't show the audience as she was up there in the actual footage. So I think that her sisters were probably still upset that she was up there. That's still all that probably very well is true because I think she definitely had to go to that second limo.
Yeah, girl. When
There's a
she
picture
said,
of her walking
"I
on the
have
way.
7 boys," I was
Yeah,
like, "What?
everybody was like 7.
Dang! Like, how you taking care of them? Go ahead, girl." Yeah,
Right.
but
That's the same
I
way.
do
That's the
think
same thing I thought about Maddie with all the kids. I said, "Oh, I know you married. Y'all got," and they were dressing nice too. I was like, "Yeah, y'all got some money. Somebody had some money."
yeah.
They weren't wearing no hand me downs. They all had their own clothes.
Right. But yeah, I think that the other sisters were probably like, how dare she get up here and try to say something about our mama and she haven't been in touch with her for the past 20 years,
Hmm.
maybe? I don't know. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, Denise got 7 boys and they got her off the stage fast, according to the movie. So
But the outside scene, that was a little hard to watch. That was hard to watch.
you talking about the limo?
Yeah, because when Denise actually gets to the point of like, y'all want to treat me like I'm an outsider,
Hmm.
you know, when she was like Clark's sisters, and you know, for the record, this was my mama too, and all that. And
Right.
she was like, then I won't come back around. You know, at least she had again Twinkie, the only one on her side to comfort her and go with her to the other
Mhm.
limo. So you know, Karen was like, I will lay you out.
And I was like, oh, now you want to get some balls. Like you ain't had no you ain't had no gumption about you for the whole movie, and now you want to get mad at the funeral.
Oh man, my earphones are dying.
Uh-oh.
But yeah.
Okay. So now they're at the point where the sisters are going through some papers, I guess taking care of their mother's affairs. And Twinkie is so sad about not being on good terms with her mama, and she, goes up to her picture and just
Yep.
really
Bawling
cries.
and just
Right.
yeah.
Right. And of course, regretting not staying in touch with her mom and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And that was hard. Hard to watch as well.
And that's why I said them 35 years.
Right.
From the beginning, you're very well going to feel that from that time she passed and on.
Especially if the last time you saw her, your soon-to-be husband pushed her. And,
right. That's the last. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I can understand that. And Twinkie apparently had a nervous breakdown. She was in either a hospital or a mental institution.
Yeah. It almost looked like the same place that Jackie worked.
Oh, I thought it looked like the same hospital her mom was in.
Could have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at that point, she's going through a divorce.
Yes.
And, so she's having a breakdown about that and her mom's death.
Right. And everybody's leaving Jackie with the bag.
Yep.
Dorinda apparently is on the verge of a nervous breakdown. So here's what I don't like. Dorinda started to show signs when her mom was ill and in the hospital that things were not okay with Dorinda, and that she was going through some own challenges mentally and emotionally as well. The scene that they had with her on the bridge was so poorly done.
It really was.
It was really so poorly done, because I'm like, are you suggesting that she tried to kill herself?
She did.
Right.
Yeah, but they should have done better showing that.
Yes, because I was like, oh, she just going to the bridge and praying?
Yes. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm like, no, you should have made this more realistic.
You should have at least stood up on the railing, at least stood over the railing, looking down at the water to make it appear that she was even considering suicide. And I feel like the scene was done so poorly. It would have been more... Right. It would have been more powerful if they took it a little further. Yeah. And I don't know if it's like Shalea wasn't comfortable getting up on the bridge or whatever, or if they don't want to don't want to be so graphic about suicide. Oh, I wrote a joke in my notes about the funeral.
Okay.
Karen was talking to her sisters and was talking about, did you know that Denise was coming to the funeral? And the other sister said, no, of course not.
Bye. Girl, it's so funny because I literally just been saying that every time I say no. Yeah, they probably didn't use that song as much as they should have.
Yeah.
They probably didn't.
So everybody's leaving Jackie with the bag. Jackie is the one who's helping to take care of Twinkie while she is in the hospital, and Dorinda just don't have the mental capabilities to deal with that. And like we said, they poorly did that almost committing suicide thing. It was terrible. So now it's 2001. Karen is going in to get surgery. I'm assuming weight loss surgery or some other cosmetic surgery.
Cosmetic surgery, yep.
Right, because her husband was saying to her, "You're beautiful just the way you are."
Beautiful how you are, yep.
Right. Something goes wrong. There's some complications. She ends up in a coma, and according to the movie, has a 2% chance of recovery. I think they exaggerated that number, but it's possible. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was true. I'm gonna have to look up on it, but I feel like for some reason it's...
I don't know, Nene, Black people always be exaggerating. Always. They always be exaggerating.
That's way too much.
Nene, people will be like, I was there 3 hours ago, knowing that they showed up 5 minutes ago.
We're gonna do some research on that part. I want to know. We're gonna do some research.
Okay. But she ends up recovering, of course, which is a huge testimony. If you're in a coma and they don't think you're going to survive, and, just adds it to and increases your faith. So, Twinkie seems to be doing better. She's recovering. and Karen went blonde. And apparently, Karen wrote a song and she wants her sisters to sing it. And Twinkie is reluctant and still is actually holding out hope for Denise to join them.
I believe it was Blessed and Highly Favored because
that's right. That's right.
Donald Lawrence had produced it, and that's what Karen and Greg brought to her attention.
Drew.
Sorry, who was Greg?
Greg is Dorinda's husband.
Okay, yeah. Drew, sorry. Yeah, Drew and Karen brought it to Twinkie's attention that Donald Lawrence was going to produce.
Right. So there was a point in the movie where she's down in the basement when she's considering like rejoining the group and pulling them back together. And she's praying to her mom. And I was like, she really don't know the difference between God and her mama. Like, yeah, asking for her mom to give her strength. And it's like, there's something really odd about having a codependent relationship like that. Yeah. But she ends up pulling it together, and they do their performance together, and they sing Blessed and Highly Favored, which is probably my favorite song by them.
Yeah.
We'll sing some of that. He brought me through hard trials.
He brought me through tribulations.
Never let a day go by. This is gonna sound horrible.
But you know what's so funny is when they froze, I was laughing like
girl. I had to pause.
If you've seen the movie, the real Clark sisters appear.
Wait. I was like, what the heck? Girl, I think I woke Calvin up. Calvin was sleeping next to me. No, he was up. I don't remember. Girl, I paused the TV and laughed so hard. That was so funny.
I was like, what is happening right now? What is happening?
So like she said, in the movie, the actresses who are playing them start singing first, and then the camera changes angles, and now we see the actual people as adults who they are right now singing the song. And Karen says, we're pausing because we're having a thought process.
I'm like, what? And then I thought that they were immediately just gonna go ahead and sing together, but then as it was just her, and then they were still froze, and then Dorinda and Jackie still froze, and then and you know what? They never see somebody care. They always doing something crazy, whether it's a long run that something crazy that Karen does all the time with her singing, like that crazy stuff she put at Aretha Franklin's funeral when her voice cracked. That was the most embarrassing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I saw the video, and it's ringing a bell, but I don't exactly know.
She had a head like that and the voice cracked. You're gonna have to play a little clip of that in this video.
But the fact that she said we're freezing because we're having a thought process, I was like,
what? And it's so funny because before she said freezing, I was like, why are they just stiff? I was like, I'm glad she announced why they were doing it, because she probably was like, they gonna think we crazy if I don't say why we freezing.
No, I think the producers told her. I think it was one of their ideas to freeze, and that the producers told them, well, you have to tell us why you're freezing.
Yeah, because this
doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Freeze, and then we'll just go one by one. Okay, but tell us, please. Thank you for the explanation.
Right. Yeah. So they give like a sentence or two about each person and what they're, what they have accomplished and all those things. And one thing that I was happy to see is that it seems like Denise was doing well.
Yeah.
Because she was an author and that she had a doctorate degree, I think.
She does. I can read all of them for you. So Karen is overseeing a powerful women's ministry, and she's singing solo as well with her sisters. Jackie is still a nurse, and we told y'all she ain't letting the nurse job go, as well as an author, and she's continuing to perform. Dorinda is an elect lady of the Kojic, and she preaches and sings around the world. Twinkie, who is named the Queen of the Hammond B3 organ, has composed more than 250 songs, which they haven't given an update about what she's doing with her life. But there are some videos of her doing some stuff with some music, which they just came out with a new song with Jermaine Dupri called Masterpiece, which is really, really good. I really like it. I downloaded it. You guys should get it. Denise Clark Bradford is a devoted mother, pastor, and a doctoral candidate. And it says that the legendary Clark sisters are the most celebrated female group in gospel music history. So they're all sitting here doing pretty well.
Yep. So, still leave some questions on the table about Denise a little bit, but for the most part,
offer her some money for a biopic because I would love to hear her side of the story.
Yes, I think that this movie was so well put together, and that Lifetime did a good job.
Good job, Lifetime. Sure.
Yeah, and even though they've had some, flops previously, Lifetime I think is becoming better because didn't Lifetime do the Surviving R. Kelly?
I think so, and I haven't even watched all of that.
Lifetime did a movie on the college scandal, and I enjoyed it. Lifetime is on the come up, and I think that they're doing a good job at being better about their content. Like they're still making the trashy 14 and pregnant movies.
She Stole My Baby.
Right, but they did the Simone Biles story. Mm-hmm. They did the Simone Biles story, and that was okay. They did an okay job with that. All right, y'all. So that has been our review for the Clark Sisters movie on Lifetime. We enjoyed putting this review together. Thank you so much for joining me, Catricia.
Thanks for having me, sis.
Yes, absolutely. We already have plans to do more content together, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want to, you can tell them where they can find you on social media if they're interested.
Yeah, my Instagram is Catricia, my full first name with 2 A's at the end, CURTRICIAAA. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram.
So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you thought about the Clark Sisters movie. Did you think it was good? Did you like the acting? Do you agree with some of the points we came up with? Just let us know. Thanks again for watching. Peace out, home slices.
Peace out.